friends, Mr. DeJordy here. Today we are going to work on a new type of problem solving, and we are going to work on word problem solving. So last week we looked at how we add and subtract in second grade. And we talked about all the different strategies that we use to solve number sentences. Today, we are going to work on how do we solve a problem when it's in a word problem. So that is like a number story. So in second grade, we use what we call this R, which means read, D, which means determine and draw, W, write a number sentence, and W again, write a statement. So this is a process that we use to solve word problems. So we call it the RDW times 2 in Mr. DeJordy's classroom. And this is the process, the set of steps that we use when we go to solve problems. So Mr. DeJordy wrote a problem here. And so we're going to use this process to solve it. So this problem says, Tom got a 49-piece Lego set and a 122-piece Lego set for his birthday. How many Legos did Tom get in all? So we did this number one, we read it. Now we are going to text code it for understanding. That's part of my reading it. And what I like to do is look at my problem and I think about, what do I know from this word problem? What do I already know? So the first thing that I'm looking at that I know is that Tom got 49 Legos. So I'm going to underline this, 49 Legos, and I'm going to put a K because K means know. I know it. And anything else that I know? Well, I also know that he got 122. So I'm going to underline that as well because that's something I know. So that's not asking me any questions so far. This is just me visualizing Tom for his birthday. He's got 49-piece Lego set, and now he has a 122-piece Lego set. So what do I want to know? That's the question. So what do I want to know? Well, I want to know how many Legos in all. And that is my W. And my W is the question. So now that I've read this word problem, I need to look at it and think about, determine how I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to determine what math operation this is asking me to use. And math operations are add, subtract, multiply, divide. In second grade, we use add and subtract. So I know it's going to be wanting me to either add or subtract. So I've got to determine from this which one of those. Then I need to draw a model, somehow solve using one of the strategies that I was taught. So I'm looking at this and I see that Tom's got 49. I'm visualizing those 49. He has another 122 in all. So these words right here are a really big clue to me. How many does he have in all? So that is talking about grouping them together. The 49, the 122, putting them together. And we put or group numbers together, we are adding. If we are comparing, then we would be subtracting. Now we're not comparing how many Legos. We are asking how many in all. So we are grouping them together, and I'm going to say that that means that I need to add. So I'm going to take my problem And now I'm going to determine which operation I want to use. So we've talked about this and the strategies that we have. And I'm going to say, I think I'm going to use the pictorial strategy to solve this. So I'm going to draw my HTO chart. I'll label it. And then I'm going to put my numbers into the chart. So I'm going to put my 49, so that there's no hundreds in 49. So I'm going to use the place value discs. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, and I'm going to do 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Noticing that I'm setting them up as a vertical 10 frame so that it's very easy to look at and to be able to determine how many are in each column. Now I've got my 49 in. I'm going to put my 122 in. So I'm going to color these ones in so I can make sure that I'm really focused on differentiating my two numbers. So I do have 100 this time, so I'm going to color this one. I'm going to put 100. I have 2 tens. 1 10, 2 tens. And then I have 2 ones. 1 1, 2 ones. And now I've got both of those in my chart. So what am I going to do next? Well, I've got to finish my calculations. And when I look at this, I say to myself, can I do this? Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. Not so much on this one. And I like to say, Houston, we have a problem here. We have too many in the ones. We can only have a 9. We can only have 9 in the ones, and we have more than 9. So we have to make an exchange. So that means that I am going to loop up, and I'm going to regroup them into tens. So how many ones make a 10? 10 ones. So I'm going to loop 10 ones, and I'm going to arrow it into the tens. And I'm going to make sure I put that 10 in there. So I took 10 ones, and I converted it into 1 10. And now I'm going to add them up. So what do I have here left in ones? Now when this is looped, this is gone now. So I only have 1. And then I have 5, 6, 7. And I have 1. So I'm going to write my number sentence. 49 plus 122 equals 171. So there's my number sentence. Now I'm going to write it in a statement. Tom, a statement is words. Who, we're talking about is Tom, has 171 Legos in all. Period. Now I've used my whole RDW times 2. Now, Miss DeJordy always likes to check her work. So I decided I was going to use this strategy to solve it. Now I want to check my work. I'm going to use a different strategy to make sure that I completed the operation the way I needed to. So I think I'm going to use the algorithm to do that. So I'm going to set up my algorithm here. Let me use a different color. So I'm going to 122, and then I'm going to put my 49. It's really important when I line up my numbers, I line up my place values. I don't have any hundreds in the number 49, so I shouldn't have anything under here. I do have tens. I have 4, so I'm going to put them right underneath the 2 that I have in my 122, and then I have 9 ones. And then I am going to put my operation symbol in there, and then I am going to add them. We always start in the right, so we always are starting in the ones. So I'm going to put these two together. 9 plus 2, 9, 10, 11. That's 11. So I'm going to put 11 here. Well, 11, just like we saw here, cannot stay in the ones because an 11 doesn't fit in ones. So I'm going to put the 1 from my 11 in my ones, and I'm going to put my 10 from my 11 in my tens. And now I'm going to go over to my tens and I'm going to add the tens column. 1 10 plus 2 tens is 3 tens. 3 tens plus 4 tens is 7 tens. 7. And then I'm going to go over to my hundreds and then I'm going to just bring it down because there's nothing here. It's like saying 0. So 1 plus 0 equals 100. So